All right, ready to climb that corporate ladder?
I'm in.
Let's do it. Today's deep dive is all about cracking the code of career success.
Sounds good.
We're going to be talking about, we're going to break down this awesome interview with Ali Zaryab,
Okay.
who went from call center agent to general manager in just 17 years.
Wow.
This guy's a rock star.
That's amazing.
And he really spilled the tea on what it takes to thrive
Yeah.
in today's, crazy corporate world.
Yeah. What I found fascinating was just how honest he was about how things are changing.
Yeah.
Everybody says get a good education.
Right.
Ollie's kind of like, yeah, but.
But there's more to it.
Exactly. A degree, yeah, it gets your foot in the door, but it's not a golden ticket anymore.
Okay.
He actually landed his first job out of college, not by bragging about his GPA, but by talking about his experience as a call center agent.
Okay, so experience trumps grades.
It's not just about the experience itself. It's
Yeah.
what it says about you as a person. Ollie was already sending emails suggesting process improvements even as a call center agent.
Wow.
That initiative, that drive to go above and beyond,
Right.
that's what makes you stand out.
So it's like, hey, I'm not just here to answer phones. I'm here to make things better.
Exactly.
I love that. Did that same kind of thinking, did he carry that through his whole career?
Oh, absolutely. Ollie's a huge believer in always growing, expanding his skill set. He moved from operations to strategy. He even became a certified project manager.
Wow.
This guy, he doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk.
He sounds like he's like the ultimate lifelong learner.
Totally.
It makes me wonder, though, with all this emphasis on real-world experience, how important are those technical skills?
So Ollie's a big believer in constantly updating your skills.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a little insider tip from the man himself.
Okay.
Brush up on your AI knowledge.
Okay.
It's the future.
Yeah, wow, AI is everywhere.
Everywhere.
So you heard it here first, folks. Time to level up those tech skills, right?
Absolutely.
But Ollie wasn't just talking about hard skills, though.
Right.
I mean, he's a huge advocate for soft skills, too, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is where I think Ollie's own experience is just so valuable.
Mm-hmm.
He told this great story about a boss who gave him some really, really honest feedback early on in his career.
Oh, I bet that was tough to hear.
It was, but it totally changed how Ollie approached his work.
Yeah.
And even his relationship with that boss.
Okay.
He took it as an opportunity to grow,
Mm-hmm.
and it definitely paid off.
Yeah, talk about turning a potentially negative situation into a positive.
Exactly.
It sounds like he really understands the power of feedback, even when it's hard to swallow.
Absolutely.
Okay, but let's rewind a bit.
Okay.
Before you can even get feedback, you need to land the job. Right.
Right.
And Ollie had some strong opinions about CVs.
Oh, he did.
Didn't he?
Forget those generic, super long resumes. Ollie wants to see achievements,
Yeah.
not just responsibilities.
Okay.
He stressed tailoring your CV to each job description,
Yeah.
highlighting how you added value.
So show, don't tell, basically.
Exactly, and keep it concise.
Okay.
Ollie was really adamant about not overwhelming recruiters with these massive CVs,
Yeah.
especially for entry-level roles.
Okay.
Think quality over quantity.
Okay. That makes sense, but why is that so important?
Well, get this. He said that a lot of companies are now using something called applicant tracking systems.
Okay.
It's basically like AI that scans your CV for keywords before a human even sees it.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's huge.
it is huge.
So it's not just about what you put on your CV, it's about how you present it to these applicant tracking systems.
Right.
That's a whole nother ball game.
It is. It's almost like you have to impress the robots first.
Right.
But even with all these fancy systems, Ollie made it super clear that strong content still matters most.
Yeah.
So how do you make your CV stand out in the digital age?
Yeah.
Numbers, numbers, numbers.
Great.
Quantify your accomplishments.
Okay.
Did you increase sales by a certain percentage?
Right.
Did you improve customer satisfaction scores? Put a number on it.
Okay.
Those are the details that'll make you stand out.
Yeah, that's such a good point.
Yeah.
And it actually reminds me of how Ollie was always looking for ways to make things better, even as a call center agent.
Totally.
He didn't just file those ideas away. He actually emailed the systems team with his suggestions.
Exactly.
Which is, that's the kind of proactive mindset that really makes a difference.
It does. And let's say you nail the interview, you land the job.
Okay.
Now what?
Yeah.
Ollie is a big believer in patience, playing the long game.
So no overnight success stories here.
Not really. He breaks down the first 2 years in a new role like this.
Okay.
Year one is all about soaking everything up,
Okay.
like a
Yeah.
sponge.
Right.
Find your feet. Year two, though, that's when you step up.
Okay.
That's when you make those game-changing contributions.
Gotcha.
So it's a good reminder that building a career, it takes time. It takes dedication.
It really does. It's like learning an instrument.
Yes.
You're not going to be playing Mozart on day one.
Exactly.
It takes practice and dedication and just a whole lot of patience.
And as you move up that ladder,
Yeah.
the competition, it just heats up.
Yeah.
Like he was saying how there might be 10 people for the same entry-level role,
Mm-hmm.
but then like only 1 or 2 management positions overseeing them.
Right. So the competition gets fierce,
Yeah, it does.
which makes all those soft skills even more important.
Oh, for sure.
Right. Like Ali really emphasized communication, building trust,
Yes.
being empathetic, especially when you're managing people.
And he used this really interesting analogy about change management. So imagine a manager, right?
Okay.
They're tasked with implementing this new strategy.
Mm.
They might have the best plan in the world, but if they can't communicate it effectively and get their team on board, it's going to fail.
It's like trying to build a house without any blueprints.
Yeah.
Communication is so key.
Absolutely.
And I love how Ali talked about empowering your team,
Yes.
giving them the autonomy to make decisions and own their work.
Absolutely. It's recognizing that everyone, they bring something to the table.
Right.
And sometimes the best way to get the best out of people is to step back and give them the space to do their thing.
Right.
With the right guidance and support, of course.
Of course. Yeah. And he also talked about the importance of, recognizing and appreciating your team,
Oh, for sure.
and not just with like a casual, good job,
No.
like really meaning it.
Like he's a big believer in showing appreciation,
Yeah.
not just, saying the words, a thank you,
Right.
or even a handwritten note.
Yeah.
It can make someone feel so valued.
It really can.
And it just fosters that culture of respect.
Totally, totally. Okay, so we've talked about education, skills, growth, importance of soft skills, even like how to deal with those applicant tracking systems.
Yeah.
But something that really stuck with me was take on workplace culture.
Okay. Yeah. What'd you think?
I don't know, he just seemed so honest.
Yeah. About it.
He was really clear that it's not always about being best buddies with everyone at work
Right.
or trying to please everyone. Like sometimes tough decisions need to be made,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And those decisions, they're not always going to be popular.
It's true.
He actually shared a story about having to let people go during the pandemic,
Yeah.
which, I mean, talk about a tough situation.
It really highlights like the weight of leadership.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to make decisions that are really difficult, but they're necessary for the organization.
And that takes a lot of courage.
It does.
But even with all those challenges, he stressed how important it is to cultivate a positive and supportive environment.
Absolutely. Like he highlighted clear communication, healthy work-life balance, appreciating your employees.
Right.
These are all critical things, especially in tough times.
He even said that companies, they should try to offer like good pay and benefits,
Right.
not just like pats on the back.
Yeah, it goes back to that thing about recognizing that people have lives outside of work.
Right, exactly. You can't just expect people to give their all if they're,
Struggling.
struggling to pay rent or
Yeah.
feeling completely burnt out.
Exactly.
And you know what else? We can't forget about like giving people room to grow.
Oh, absolutely.
Ali really made that point.
Yeah,
That employees need to feel like there's a path forward,
for sure.
a way to advance and learn within a company.
It's about feeling challenged, right? If you feel stuck or like there's no room for you to grow,
Yeah,
you're going to get bored, you're going to feel disengaged.
exactly. That helps nobody.
It's a lose-lose.
Totally.
Yeah.
And creating that kind of like thriving workplace, that's not a one-time thing.
Definitely not.
It's a process, right?
Constant.
Yeah, it's like tending a garden,
Oh, I like that.
You can't just plant some seeds and walk away.
Right.
You got to take care of it.
Nurture it.
Water it, give it sunlight. Yeah.
What a great analogy.
It takes effort and you got to be intentional about it.
Yeah, and it takes a real commitment from the leaders, at every level.
Totally.
To make a space where everyone feels valued,
Yes.
respected, supported.
Okay, so we've covered a lot today,
We have.
but there's one last bit of wisdom from Ali
Okay.
that I think we got to highlight.
Right.
He basically said, and I'm paraphrasing a little here,
Okay.
don't go to work to make friends.
Interesting.
Right.
Makes you think.
Yeah, and I get where he's coming from. you know?
Right.
It's important to stay professional,
Yeah.
focus on why you're there,
Right.
and remember those boundaries between work life and personal life.
Yeah. And I think, especially for people who are just starting out,
Yeah,
it's easy to get caught up in the social side,
totally.
but you're there to learn. You're there to grow.
Right,
You're there to contribute.
exactly. And Ali, he's all about that growth mindset,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Always looking for those challenges, new things to learn, and never just settling.
Yeah, he even talked about taking risks,
Yeah,
calculated ones, of course.
of course.
But, even if it doesn't work out,
Yeah,
you learn something.
exactly. You win some, you learn some.
Exactly.
Right. It's all part of the journey.
His failure is just a stepping stone, right?
Love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So where does this deep dive leave us? I think Ali gave some really powerful advice.
He did, yeah.
Real, genuine, but also really inspiring. He's not afraid to keep it real,
Yeah.
about how tough things can be.
Mm.
But he also sees how much opportunity is out there.
Yeah, for sure. For those who are willing to put in the work.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about, sticking with it, always learning, and always going for it.
And never underestimate a good CV.
Yes. That's your first impression. You got to make it count.
Absolutely.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the corporate world
It does.
with the amazing Ali Zaryab.
What a story.
Huge thank you to him for his insights and his honesty.
It really shows that success isn't a straight line.
It's not.
But, you work hard, you're determined, you have a little grit, you can do anything.
Love that.
Eh.
And on that note, we'll leave you with this.
Okay?
How can you take what we talked about today and use it?
That's the question.
Right. It doesn't matter if you're just starting or you've been doing this for years.
Always something to learn.
Always. Until next time, keep climbing, keep learning,
Keep diving deep.
and we'll see you on the next deep dive.